Good morning, students. Now, today we are going to study about the early life of the Prophet Muhammad. As you know, I have already mentioned that now the advent of and the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, and after that the advent of the Islam was one of the wonderful incidents or a meaningful incidents in the history of the entire world. We know, students, now after that the birth of Islam, understand, and the prophets Hazrat Muhammad, who founded the Islam. It was the wonderful of incidents, because this now uh, completely changed the stream of life in the different parts of the world. The main streams of the life completely a new ideology, a new religious beliefs, a new administrative structure, a new uh, cultural traits the Islam now gave to this world. Understand? So now, students, we know very well that before the advent of the Islam, understand, the entire people or the whole the was uh, Arab was now settled by the settled by the tribals. Understand? Dotted with the tribals, or those tribals were not so civilized, or they had civilized. So when the Islam came into the existence, so then they came under the flag of the new religion, and with the new enthusiasm, a new fervor, and a new just a new forwards, and the new just earnest, they joined the Islam. And Islam gradually or the fastly now spread in the different parts of the on the different continents of the world. Understand? So now, students, and the playing the very vital, or now we know that before the advent of the Islam, understand, the people of the Makkah and its around, the people were idol worshippers, we know that. And they used to worship a black stones, and now a cube like black stone, where they express their reverence. Understand? And they had the strong beliefs. And the this Kaaba was supposed to be the a very religious, a very a pious place where the violence was completely prohibited around this. Around the Kaaba, the violence was strictly prohibited, and the moreover, the pilgrims from the different parts of the Arab used to come here for their expressing the reverence to their reverence to their supreme being. Understand? So now here the prophets. Let's come to the prophets Muhammad. Now, first of all, Muhammad. He is no doubt he was the founder of the Islam, and now he born at the Mecca in 570 AD. He born at the Mecca, and now he was ultimately his now he belonged to the Qurayshi tribals group. Quraysh, Hasim clan belonged to the Hasim clan, or belong to the Qurayshi tribes. Understand? Qurayshi groups of the tribes, they were the very dominant in the Makkah. Understand? In the Makkah area, tribes was the a dominant position. They were in dominant positions there, and moreover, his father's name was Abdullah, and the mother's name was Amina. Amina M. But unfortunately, now in the very while he was in the very state of the childhood, then the both the his just mother and father's now just a diet. Understand? Then after he was uh, taken taken care by the his grandfathers. Now his grandfather's name was Abd al Mutalib. Abd al Mutalib. Now he brought up started started bringing up the Prophet's Muhammad. But unfortunately, because of the age factors, now he also died unfortunately. So the shadow of protections now disappeared and eroded from from him. So then after now responsibility of the bringing of the Prophet's Muhammad now fallen upon his uncle now this uncle Abu Talib now he started bringing up, and then after the that now but one thing is what that now the Gautam Buddha, understand. So, morning show the days. If certainly we say that the morning says the days, the morning says the now shows the days, morning shows the days, it means what? Morning shows that it means now a very promising person's features appears in the at the very beginning of the age, very beginning of the age. Now the prophets attitudes was very completive. Now he was a very thoughtful man right from the early age. He was very thoughtful, and now he was always dipped into the thinking right from his childhood. Similarly, the Gautam Buddha was also who was the great founder of the Buddhism in our country. He had the similar kind of the inclinations towards the thoughts. Now, students, so we see that further under the further but because of his financial strain and the financial say, scarcity, because of his financial or you can say in other words because of the impoverishment, because of the impoverishment he could not give the shape to his thoughts. What he used to think, he could not because of the financial strain. So now further later on, and this was the very hardship that, and he could not because, and that is why he could not get the formal educations. So now further his life advanced on the recommendation of his uncle. Okay, and his life now further advanced, and as the recommendation of his uncle, now he joined the service under a widow, a rich widow. Her name was Khadija. He joined the Khadija service and business. She was a businesswoman, and he joined, and for her she started working a lot. Understand? He began, or now he showed and expressed his dutifulness, honesty, and hardworking. So these qualities or the attributes inherent in the Prophet's Muhammad now, no doubt, fascinated and impressed the Khadija. Understand? Although Khadija was at the age of 40, and he was the 24, 25. So now, even then, he just got into the marriage with the Khadija. Had the matrimonial alliance happened between that, and moreover, and on behalf for the purpose of the business, now Prophet say on just for his commercial purpose, begin to, started going to the Syria. Understand? So where in many times he visited the Syria, where he found where he made the Jews and the Christians community, and the people of the Jews and Christianity. And now he had the opportunity to having his closeness and having the discussion with the Christians and the Jews, and he learned a lot of knowledge from there. He gathered a lot of knowledge, much knowledge about the Christianity, about the Jews. Uh, then after he back to his just back there. To show this, Muhammad became very contemplative around the at the age of 40. Very contemplative. He became a turned very thoughtful man at the age of 40, and moreover or often contemplate in the seclusion. He started living in the seclusion, often seclusion, whether in the caves or whether in the hills areas. He began to now went there and for his meditations, and now the Arabs of this period, where I already we have studied that Arabs were by this period believed in the superstitions. Now they were the very orthodox and the conservatives, and from the religious point of the view, they were the orthodox. Arabs were the, and moreover they worshipped the idols and the believed in the ghost and spirit also. The Arabs were worshipper of idol worshippers. And before the advent of the Islam, emergence of the Islam, the Arabs were the idol worshippers. Understand? And as well as the believer believed in the ghost and spirit. And as a result, what happens? Now the Kaaba in Mecca, Kaaba in the Mecca was their place of pilgrims and the sacred shrines. Kaaba was a sacred shrine, and where they worshipped the almost the 360 idols. 360 idols were established there, and they now used to gather in the Kaaba, or they particularly worship the black stones. A black stones, a cubic black stones were there, and they worshipped these black stones, and which was the supposed to be the thrown down by the Allah. And these black stones was supposed to be the thrown by the Allah. But however, the Muhammad did not believe in the idol worship. But the prophets Muhammad had the different thoughts and different way and different beliefs. So that's why he did not like it. And since from the very beginning he was not in favor of the worshipping the idols and the stones. So this was the matter or the problem issues behind that. So in the beginning, it was the during this time that in 611 AD, 600 of the age of 40, when he was now when he was in the meditation in Hira cave. Now in the 611 AD, when he was in the meditation, and where the cave, the place, the cave where he was, he used to be in the meditation. So then it was the incidents of the 611 AD. So what happened there? Now the Hira cave, and just an angel Gabriel came there and appeared there and gave him the message of Allah. 611 AD, an angels Gabriel just appeared there and now just delivered the message to the prophets. What the message? The message was that now recite. What was the message delivered by the Gabriel in the Hira cave to the prophets? It was the message. Remember, recite the name of Allah. Now the message was that he recite the name of Allah, and the name of Allah who has made all the creations. It means that this world is created by the Allah, and so you should recite the name of Allah. And further, Now Muhammad, and thereafter Muhammad had now a vision of the God. After that, Muhammad now forced a vision about the and God and received his message that or now he received his message that there is no God. His message, there is no God. Understand? And only but but Allah. There is no God but Allah. And second thing, Muhammad is his prophets. And Muhammad is his prophet. It means the Muhammad is a messenger of the Allah. Muhammad now who will communicate the message of Allah to this world, to the believers. And moreover, prophets, and it was the message which later came to be the known as the revelation. And what was that message? So that those messages came to be the known as the revelation. Revelation. Revelation that began to came to be the known as the revelation. So that message, what the revelation? Muhammad came to believe that he was the chosen messenger of the supreme being, Allah. Allah was the supreme being. Allah is the supreme being, and Muhammad is the messengers of the and he was the carrier of the of just the revelations, and moreover and of the supreme being Allah, and Allah had chosen him to communicate. Allah has just selected him to communicate his message to the human beings. Allah had now selected him, chosen him to communicate his message to the human beings. Now this was the message was given there, and moreover, initially, or this his message, or he continued receiving this message till his death, or it is now believed that this message now he got prophet say Muhammad got the message from the Allah till his death, and those messages he used to communicate in the sayings and doings, and later on these were the compiled in the Quran, in the as in injunctions of the Quran. These were the compiled. So now, students, we see that this Allah and received this message till his death. Initially, these revelations now dealt with the God's unity, or initially these revelation dealt and refers the God's unity first of all, and the second one is that he now the obligation to give the alms to the poor. Second, unity of religions, unity of gods. Then the alms to be obligation. It is the obligation of the each believer to now away and give away the alms to the poor and the needy. This was the revelation. Second, and further revelations here is that he now and the destitute. This is the obligation of the each believer. Now they would believers they would provide to alms to the poor and the destitutes. Understand that this message was given, or this was the revelations given by the in the message to the prophets, and prophets now communicated this to the community, his community. So now later on there was the insistence on the dreadful judgment. Now here is that this is the called as the Qiyamah. Qiyamah. So judgment of This is a now they told that there was also a insistence on the dreadful judgment awaiting those who hoarded the wealth and exploited the weak. So now it was said that there will be a judgment of a day of the judgment. On that day, the Allah will take the account of your all hoardings, how much you have exploited the poor on this earth, and how much you have amassed the earth on this earth, how much you have amassed the wealth on this earth beyond your requirement or apart from your requirements. So this will be the taken task, and how much you have exploited the poor. That will be the main. This will be the main lesson of the Islam. This is the, and moreover, this after that there was also insistence on the dreadful of the judgment. The revelations received by Muhammad were the subsequently compiled in Quran, or this revelation has been the compiled in the Quran. I have already mentioned that whatever the hadith where the what the Prophet Muhammad his sayings and doings is called the hadith. So these all hadiths had been compiled in the Quran and in the Quranic indexes. And moreover, and hadith saying of the and enjoy a significant place in the Islam, or his hadiths now just enjoys a very significant room or a space in the Quran. Okay, the students, now further here is the we see they are adorned as a supreme source of authority in Islam. These hadiths and the sayings are the supreme authority in the Islam, supreme authority of the Islam. And Hazrat Muhammad had himself remarked about the Quran like this, and Prophet Muhammad himself he remarked, he gave a remark about the Quran, the gave the remark about the Quran in the very in the words in the word, let the Quran be your guiding force. Prophet Muhammad said to the believers, let the Quran be your guiding force, and moreover, and for do what it says and follow what the Quran says. Every believers and Muslims must have to be the follow what the Quran says. Okay, and the moreover, Quran is the guiding force. Quran must be followed by the Islamic people, and moreover, and keep away from what it prohibits. And every Muslims must have to be the keep away what the Quran prohibits and prevents. This is the these statements were given by the prophets Muhammad. Prophets say Muhammad to the Muslims. The Quran. Now let's say know something discuss about the Quran. Here we see the Quran is the Arabic Quran in Arabic. Quran has been written in Arabic, and it's had the 114 surahs 100. Quran have the 114 surah. It means the 100 Quran is divided in a 114 surahs. Understand in chapters, and the surahs are arranged in a descending orders. These surah chapters have been ordered in a very descending order, and the of a descending order of the length, descending order of the length. This has been the written, and the last surah is the very shortest. That is why the last surah of the Quran is the very short. But one thing is the example is here. Only exception of that surah is the short prayers have been the written at the very beginning or the opening. That is the called as the Al Fatiha. Al Fatiha. This is the opening prayer of the Quran, and this has been the written in a very short version, in a very short, in brief, in very not cell. It has been the written. Understand? Or this is the surah, and moreover, Al Fatiha, Quran is the collection of message. What is the Quran? Collection of revelation or the messages which are sent by God to the prophets Muhammad between the 610 to the 632. This message and the have been a revelation has been the sent to the prophets. It was the sent 610 to 632. These messages had been the delivered and sent to the prophets by the Allah. And those revelations and those revelation and those messages have been compiled into the Quran. Okay, and total chapter in Quran is the 114 surah that Quran. Understand? In the beginning of the Quran, now Al Fatiha, it is the very shortest, but the last chapter surah is the shortest of all. Its exception is that the beginning is the surah is the very in the beginning the prayer Al Fatiha is a very short, and apart from that it has been written Quran has been written in a very descending order. Understand? So now, students, let's say further discuss, and this has been the or first in the Makkah and then the Medina. These messages now came to the Prophet Muhammad from Makkah to the Medina. Okay, here he got the revelation, and the oldest complete Quran is available today. Dates from the 9th century AD. Okay, the further we see the about the Quran. Okay, about the Quran. Further, Muhammad's first followers, who became the first followers of the prophets followers, the first the Khadija, the wife. Understand? Khadija became the first the follower of the prophets Muhammad. Remember that. And moreover, soon the number of his followers now just the figure of around the 50. Gradually, the numbers of the followers now enhanced, and their figures rose to the 50, and amongst them some were the very important and the prominent figure in the Arab or as a successor or the at the very close relatives to the prophets Muhammad. Amongst them were the Ali Abu Bakr. Later on, he had been the successor of the prophets Muhammad. Understand? Ali Abu Bakr, Jaid were the very foremost of that. Message of Muhammad particularly appealed to the Makkans who felt deprived of those who had no any just any kind of the breakup or any kind of those who just felt the deprived of the trade and commerce, and those who had no any religious beliefs, didn't have developed the religious belief, and looking for a new religious order. Those who were so those became the large number of the members of the new religion. They became the members of this, and a new community identity. They wanted to a new community. And many of the tribals were there. They wanted their identity, new community identity. So they could get their new community identity by the Islam. Understand? So that's they joined very well. The people accepted the doctrine were known as the Muslims, and those people who adopted and accepted the Quran, Islam, they used to be called as the Muslims. And moreover, and they were the just seen as the just a salvations of the day of the judgment. They could get the salvation on the day of the judgment according to their karma, what they had did. And moreover, on the day of judgment, those who had exploited the poor were subject and amidst the beyond the requirements. Apart from requirement, they had amassed the wealth. They were subject to be the just punishment. So the day of judgment was very important for that. And as a resources of community, okay, those who have now amassed the resources of the community much, they were subject to the punishment. And those who have the now have the served to the poor, and now served to the poor. And moreover, they were very moderates in the amassing the amassing the resources. The where got their salvations according to their karma and according to their deeds in this world. Understand? So the day of judgment was the very important for the Islam. Understand? So today this is the for the today students. Next in the next class. Thank you very much.